So, friends, let me tell you how the pool survived the winter. The winter was very harsh. For 1 month, even a month and a half, there was severe frost. It went down to -27. That was actually the first time. And, as you can see, the bottles froze. There is still ice. The bottles were being compressed, but overall, somewhere the depth of the ice, wow, somewhere probably around 50 centimeters froze through, maybe even more. But these bottles helped me out. There are really 2 bags of them, even 3. The more, the better. That is, they compress, and the ice does not damage the plastic. In principle, during the season we had a mole appear, it was also digging around it. Thank God, it did not damage anything in any way. Yes, the pool will need to be vacuumed, but it is not that dirty yet. Well, that is, let's start it up after winter. This thing here on top looks like this. There is a lot of dirt, sand, cloudiness on it. It needs to be washed. And on the back side there is also some kind of strange substance. It also needs to be rinsed and preferably removed and stored already, because they seem to be very delicate. I even have several places between these spots, several punctures, a little torn. So, it was not possible to wash it simply with water. I had to start the so-called Karcher and wash it off, because this kind of coating, after half a year, even more, had really, so to speak, eaten into it. Next, I also go over with additional attachments, like this, also around this circle, so that we will not use chemicals, but let it be fresher, to remove this dust. And also with the washer we go over here, along the upper part. It was outside, and it turns out, so that it is clean, we go over it as much as possible with the washer, and it will even have a slightly different color. Over there I have already gone over it, and over there not yet. There it is a little yellowish like that, and here it is clean. Now we are filling it with water. As I said, I drained the water down to ground level, but then it even filled up higher from rains, ice, snow. Now we are installing the ladder. I closed the ladder with 2 plugs so that water would not get inside. Well, as you can see for yourselves, in principle, there are no problems so far. The next step is to start our sand filter. Here, just look at the instructions for your own sand filter. That is, we pour in new quartz sand and install it in place. We connect the hoses to the pool. We started it, the filter began its work. Let it just work for a bit so that the sand gets wet and all the bubbles come out. And now we will start installing the skimmer and will clean the bottom and, of course, chemicals. When set to the simple water drain mode, it takes water from the pool and dumps the dirty water wherever you want, in my case onto the lawn. As you can see, you can feel the difference. I will not say that the bottom is very dirty. Somewhere after, probably, a month, if you simply do not use the pool, but it will be something like this. I use a homemade cleaner. Here we have a vacuum cleaner piece with a brush, a handle, and 3 meters of flexible vacuum cleaner hose. It fits there perfectly and cleans the bottom perfectly. But I think I will have to clean it a couple of times, because after cleaning, small microorganisms still settle, you could call them that. Now I will wait until the water is below this level of the lower intake so that I can add more clean fresh water. And after I add it, then I will already play around with the chemicals. And pay special attention to the walls, because it is even better to go over them with some kind of brush to remove some slime, well, this unpleasant stuff. There is not much of it, it is easily removed even with the vacuum cleaner, but do not forget about the walls. After we have filled the pool and cleaned it, we need to find out its acidity, because chlorine, I think, is minimal here. For this we will need this kind of kit. I will give the link in the description. A very cool thing for understanding the acidity of your water, because acidity is very important, whether the chemicals will work or not. Here, in fact, there are 2 reagents, and it shows us. The first is acidity, the second is chlorine and bromine. We take water from the pool up to the marked lines, both in the right and in the left container. Now we take 5 drops each. This one is pH, 5 drops of pH, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And chlorine exactly the same, 5 drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We close it with the caps included in the kit and shake our device. We wait a little. Well, about a minute has passed. We see that there is practically no chlorine, of course, it has evaporated. And the pH is somewhere around 7.2 to 7.5, we determine it by the color. That is, in principle, this is a normal thing. I usually had high pH, so I used such a chemical as pH-. There is also pH+. But now I see that, in principle, I do not need to add anything, it is somewhere around 7.5. A good value for the acidity of pool water. But there is little chlorine, so now we will add chlorine. Now I take this kind of active chlorine in granules and use the dosage for your pool. Actually, 10 grams per 1 cubic meter of water. I long ago made myself this kind of measuring cup. I marked on it what 100 grams of chlorine is, and for me for 200 liters. I will explain later why. But we do not pour it all in at once, because it will dissolve very badly. Somewhere in portions of 25 grams per bucket of water, we pour it in and mix thoroughly. Why a little at a time? Because if you dissolve it like this and pour it into the pool, it will settle on the bottom and will change the color of your bottom. If it does not all dissolve, then we carefully pour it out and add water again. And so little by little, we pour everything into the pool completely. It is better to pour it near the filter, little by little. And here, you see, I have some left. Now I will add water again and try to dissolve it. And so, the main thing is that it does not fall down, because in some places it fell down for me, and immediately the bottom became a slightly different color. That is, chlorine eats into it. The second portion of water in the same basin almost dissolved all the chlorine, so do not hurry. Another bucket of water, and the chlorine. The main thing is, do not hurry. This is where we added fast dissolving chlorine, which starts working immediately. Now we need to put slow dissolving chlorine into our floater, so that it slowly maintains the condition of our water. I take this huge tablet, but I divide it in half, put it into this floater, and it lasts me about 3 to 3.5 weeks. With this knife we divide the tablet into 2 parts. Yes, of course, you can buy small tablets, but then you need to put 3 pieces in there. And this way you put one in and forget about it. The floater is also worth buying. You cannot just throw in tablets that are slow dissolving. They will simply burn through, well, not exactly burn through. They will ruin the appearance of your pool. And this way, little by little, the floater moves around and constantly adds chlorine, while a tablet lying in one place simply burns the PVC. So, we have dealt with chlorine. So that algae and so on do not grow in our pool. We need one more thing like this. It is called Algex. Often they do not write what it is, some kind of secret mixture. In fact, it is copper sulfate diluted in something. Somewhere I came across that, and here each manufacturer writes their own version of what it is. Copper sulfate. Basically, when filling the pool, I use 50 milliliters per 1 cubic meter of water. That means I need approximately half a liter. That is, accordingly, I have to pour all of it from the bottle, but also pour it wisely. Here too, the main thing is not to pour everything at once. We take a bucket of water from the pool, add it in about 3 to 4 parts, added it and spread it over the entire area of the pool. That is it. I do not add any more chemicals. Only chlorine, fast dissolving chlorine, slow chlorine, and Algex. And pH, if you really need to raise or lower the pH. That is, the pH should be around 7.2 to 7.6. Now we are installing new batteries in the temperature sensor. The water is now 18 degrees. Swimming in this is not very pleasant, so we wait. Let it be at least 22. Let it get warmer. But in fact, we have already started the pool. It is working. For my pool with a volume of 10,000 liters, for startup I use 100 of chlorine, plus a large tablet in the floater. For the first filling, Algex is usually dosed at 50 milliliters per 1 cubic meter of water, accordingly half a liter goes in right away for me. Do not mix chlorine and Algex concentrates in one bucket. Add them separately. Every week for prevention, half a tablet of slow chlorine. Algex, if there has been no rain, then 50 milliliters, if there has been a lot of rain, then 100 milliliters. Also do not forget to backwash the sand in your filter every week. This is important, really important. Turn off the pump and only then turn the valve to the backwash position. Keep backwash for about 2 to 3 minutes, or until clean water comes out of the drain outlet. Then turn off the pump again. Turn the valve to the filtration position and only then turn on the pump. And once a month in the evening, fast chlorine, 100 grams, then filtration all night. If suddenly the water starts turning green, fast chlorine 200 grams, pour in 200 milliliters of Algaecide and throw in this kind of flocculant. It will bind all the green stuff into fairly large clumps, part of it will stay in the filter, part will settle on the bottom. So we simply vacuum it. I drain the water in drain mode, for me this is drain, better not through the filter. Well, friends, we have started the pool after winter. And the most important thing is that it really survived a very difficult winter. The frosts were serious, the ice was good, but as you can see, the pool is alive, nothing tore and nothing bad happened to it. You asked how it feels after winter, here I am showing everything as it is. Yes, I had to wash it, clean it, vacuum it, add chemicals, start the filter, but overall the result is excellent. Write in the comments how your pool survived the winter, what you use for startup and what chemicals you add. The water, of course, has not warmed up much yet, swimming is still a bit brisk, but I still made this review for you right from inside the pool. Now we are waiting for sunshine, warm water, a normal summer mood, and the season can be considered open. So, you can safely bury a frame pool like I did. I have already made a detailed instruction, the link will be in the description under the video. All links to the products can be found in the description under the video. There is also a link to the Telegram group, where you will find not only new products for the smart home system, but also coupons, deals, other communication, and answers to questions. There are also links to the smart home forum, where all topics are divided into sections for more convenient communication and information search. There are also links to social networks, Facebook and X. Please do not forget to leave a like if you liked the video, and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss other interesting videos about smart and not so smart home systems. Clean water to everyone, a warm summer, more sunshine, peaceful skies, and kindness. See you in the next reviews. Bye bye.